Welcome back to Pints with Pals. I'm your host, Jeremy, and with me this evening, we have Mike, which is over this way for me, and we got Jason. He's finally back, everybody.
Back.
Yay! Jason's here. All right.
Hi, Jason.
So,
Hi. Happy to be here.
I'm sure everyone's going to ask, like, where has Jason been at? Because I know people have asked me this a bunch of times. So where has Jason been?
Let's see. I did dry January, so it didn't make sense to do podcast during dry January. I was also sick. I've been on and off sick. I went to Mexico, and Mexico itself was a great time. And then got back and I've been like sick for like 2 or 3 weeks. So I haven't really been anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
I was saying this is my first beer in like almost a month. So
like you're on the mend, which is better.
Right.
Yeah. So tonight we're having another Mike beer. He made an Irish Red. This is how old, Mike?
I made them in September.
September?
So,
okay, it's not too bad.
September 29th is when I made this.
Not fair enough.
Yeah.
So bottled in October, mid-October?
Yeah. Yep.
Mid-October. Okay. So not too old. So what are the stats on this? Because there is no notes I can read off. Sorry.
There wasn't really anything. It's just another kit that I got from More Beer. It was just one of their highest bought versions. So it's just going to be a little bit malty, with the kind of a bitter note a little bit. I can get through the, this one was one of the more complicated ones with as much stuff that they added to it, but I'd say let's add it, and it tastes like an Irish Red to me, better than Smithwick's. What?
So what's the ABV and IBU and stuff like that?
Okay, the predicted ABV was supposed to be between 4.5 and 5, and I think I got 5.5 out of it. The SRMs are 20 to 22, and then IBUs is 41 to 46.
Okay. Okay, nice little head on it. Not too bad.
I got a hiss.
Hisses are always good. It has a nice, like, garnet, ruby-ish kind of color to it.
Smells delicious.
Oh, yeah.
So these were bottled with a bottler. So so it's
the Nuka one.
Yeah. I don't think it's the Nuka Tap one. It's like the off-brand version of it, because there were none in stock. So it is, when this episode comes out, it's going to be really close to St. Patrick's Day. So happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. But right now it's almost Pie Day, so I went with the festive Pie Day mug. Pie Day is 3/14.
Confuse them all.
Yeah.
Where is my I want a better flashlight. Look at this color.
It's definitely red. You can't. It's hard to tell. You can kind of see it like through here. Like you can see the red hues.
Yeah.
Mine looks
it
very
does have a
red.
bite to it for sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean that's. So what hops are in this one?
All right. So this recipe was an all grain recipe. It was 10 pounds of 2-row. The specialty malts, there were 5 of them. There was Crystal 120 for color. There's 1 pound of that, 8 ounces of Abbey, 8 ounces of Kermunic, 2 ounces of black roasted, 2 ounces of Special B. And then the hops there was 1.5 ounces of Northern Brewer at the start of the boil, and then 2 ounces of Willamette. At 1 minute to the end of the boil, and you had the clarification. And then this was the yeast strain was SAF Ale S04.
Okay, S04, yeah.
So the original gravity when I came out with this was 1056, and then it ended at 1014 maybe.
Okay.
I can't tell because I wrote numbers on top of numbers. So either 10.6 or 10.14, 10.16 or 10.14. And then it was basically lagered it sat in a keg for about 2 months. This one I also didn't quite have enough, so that's why it's a little higher. So when I brewed it, the starting amount of beer, I just started with 5 or 6 gallons or something, and it kind of went down to about 4. So I think that's why it's a little bit higher ABV and a little bit more bitter.
Definitely bitter. Aftertaste is super bitter, but it's good. This is actually my first mic brew.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because when I was at his house, I think I was also on antibiotics. No, I was doing dry January. That's right.
Yep.
So I couldn't. My girlfriend did have My girlfriend had a cider though, and she was actually talking about it last night with our friend Matt. Said it was delicious.
Yeah, I didn't send you guys any ciders because I don't feel like there is. I mean, there is a lot of skill to them to like get the flavors right after the fact, but I won't be able to send them out without like pasteurizing them or something because it's back sweetening without killing the yeast first only works if you keep them cold the whole time.
100%. So, what number of beer is this for you?
This is my second beer ever.
Okay.
And I brewed it the day after I brewed my first bear. So I didn't learn anything. Yeah, I didn't learn anything from the first one. I just went straight into the next one. And the irony is I liked the last one that I screwed everything up on better. It was a little bit sweeter and a little bit
a little more malty. Yeah.
Yeah. So like this one I feel like is decent, and it's really close to a red, an Irish red, like I was kind of trying to get. But it's I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of flavors in here that are like go back and forth for me.
So I guess that brings up a question, and I feel like you guys asked me this before when we were drinking my home brews. So is there one thing you've done differently or changed or reduced?
Since I started this one, because this was 10, 11, almost 12 pounds of grain. It was a big beer, and it was like not circulating. Okay. And then, so I thought I had milled my grain too fine. So the next time I went to brew, I milled it a little less fine. And that didn't seem to change anything. And then the next time I went to go brew something, I added rice hulls, and that was that made a huge difference. So like, yes, there has been some progressive changes, but the unfortunate thing is like when you brew back to back, and then I don't think I brewed the third beer. So I brewed the first and second beer back to back, and then the second and third beer back to back. The fourth beer by itself, or fifth beer by itself, and then I'm gonna brew tomorrow and Sunday probably 2 more beers because I ran out of everything in my keg or out of my keither.
What are you brewing? What's next on the docket?
I'm gonna do a Kolsch again because it's been a very mild but flavorful beer, so it's kind of nice to have. You guys have the first version, which isn't the best. The second version was better than the first version, so I'm hoping to kind of get that similar kind of outcome tomorrow. And then I'm gonna brew the honey blueberry ale, and it's gonna be pretty similar to Jeremy's. I just bought honey and honey malt. I actually have it here. Because the one that I was looking at had, so there's like a honey malt.
Yeah.
So the one I was looking at the recipe I was looking at had a few of those in it.
How long was the boil on this one? An hour?
Yes. Yeah, there were, and these ones I might have only done a 30-minute mash too, which is weird. Or maybe I did a 45-minute mash. I did whatever the thing said.
Okay. Well, at the end of the day, it doesn't really fully matter. There's not much of a conversion after 45 minutes for the most part. I think my only gripe is is the weird bitterness. It's not weird. It's just kind of. It was very forward or lingering, I should say. So it's not forward, but it just kind of hangs out there. That's why I'm just kind of curious how long you boiled it for. Because if you did the 60 minutes of Northern Brewer and then you said 2 ounces of Willamette at 1 minute.
Yeah.
How long did it take to cool down?
A while.
You may not have timed that. So
no, because
I wonder if that's what I'm getting is the Willamette.
Yeah, it definitely is like something that's like hitting right here, like in that area of your mouth.
Kind of look it up real quick. I'm curious. That's one thing I've been trying to do. So, like, all right. So let me ask you this question. So when you're put your hops in, when you hit your whatever mark, do you take them right out or do you leave them in the whole time you're cooling?
The whole time I'm cooling.
So I don't. So
oh no, I think I take them out because I can't get my cooler. I don't know now. I feel like I leave them in there because I have them inside my cooler. But my cooler's changed. That's another thing that I've changed since then. I got a bigger, beefier cooler. So
I do think it is the Willamette, and it could be that it was in longer than what it probably should have been. Because I do get it's almost like a spice. So it's not like a pepper spice like you get from like Saaz hops, but it definitely has a nice little kind of like little of a spicy note that's just kind of that's what I'm getting anyway. Again, flavor is definitely subjective anyways. We all know that. Because I know when I do my beers, like if it's just for 1 minute, so when I put it in for the 1 minute, I'm immediately taking all the hops out. I don't leave them in to cool. So I wonder if you just added more hop flavor to it than what you meant to. But that being said, your first beer that I tried, if you did the same thing, that was a phenomenal beer, but you had so many happy accidents all the way through it. Like, I'm not sure if you're going to ever repeat that. I think that was just one of those one-offs that was just really, really good. I think Jason will enjoy that one as well, too. I scored that one pretty friggin' high. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5. It was damn good.
You gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
4.5? Okay, yeah. It was good. I mean, it was freaking awesome. I'm mad that you only gave me 1.
I know. Well, I only had like 2.5 to 3 gallons of the thing total. But I'm definitely going to try and buy that recipe. Or I'm not going to buy the recipe again. So that's what I like about their recipes is they give you the recipe sheet online. So it's like, it's nice and easy, but you have to order the yeast separately because they give you an option between like cellular science or whatever the hell it is.
Cellar.
And the 2 dry ones and then the SAF or Save Fail or whatever the hell it is. And then like you can get any of their liquid yeasts. So, but then everything else is kind of a package. But if you go on to their website, you can basically get any amount of all of those grain and basically order the whole thing separate. That's what I've done for the last 2 Kolsch's was I just like, I already have the recipe and I know what's going on. And the Warflock tablets do 10 gallons. So I just broke one in half so I didn't have to buy another one. So it went from like $28 to like $22. And then the next time I did it, I even saved my yeast from the last time. So I have a yeast again that I'm going to be using. So I bought DME to do a yeast starter. Yeah. But if I'm going to brew tomorrow, I should have started it today and I didn't. So I think I'm just going to dump it in and hope for the best again. So that's what I did last time. So I think it'll probably be fine.
I think it will be fine as well too. So I guess we should get to rating this. I'm going to give it myself a 3 out of 5. I think it's still a good beer. I don't see nothing wrong with it except for like the lingering spicy taste to it. This is Jason's first rating of the season.
Been a while. I'll go 3.25.
2.5.
I'll get some decimal places in there. I definitely agree. Like good forward taste, but it's like you take a sip and it's lingering for a long time. And it's not a bad flavor, but it's not necessarily good either. Whatever that bitterness is.
Yeah. But again,
great color, great smell.
Yeah, I mean, you're not far off at all from like a nice Irish red at all.
Yeah.
Even though, like you said, it's a kit and everything like that, but you still made it. Like, so you still had to use the water that you wanted to use, the time that you wanted to use it for. You pretty much had a stuck mash and didn't know what a stuck mash really was at the time either. So you were fighting against that as well. So like, there's still a lot of those things that were just not right that you've learned in the next few beers we're going to try. Like, I guess you can get into those stories later on. Like, I started doing this differently and blah blah blah, just to kind of let the user know. Because I do brew in a bag, so I don't worry about stuck mashes. I mean, I stir every 15 minutes or so, and that's all I do. I don't circulate or anything like that, so I don't have to, I'm not too worried about it.
I'm actually
you circulate constantly, so
I'm doing brew in a bag also because the cleanup is just 1,000 times easier. I don't have to like try and get all of like, cause so for the listener, well, I guess you guys, but there's actually a grain like tube that goes into mine. So you don't have to, it's got like holes drilled in the bottom of it or whatever. So you don't need to use a bag. Then you can just pull that out. But what I did the first time is it works well, but like the cleanup is just a pain. Like trying to get that out of there, then you have to do something with it. Then it just sits there and drains, and I have to like deal with the mash afterwards versus just like the bag. You just like flip it inside out and everything in a trash bag, and it's just perfectly fine. So I switched to that because it's just easier. The bags are relatively cheap, and it was just way less cleanup. And for those of you at home again, brew in a bag is just basically a mesh bag, like a tea bag, essentially.
Yep. You know, I think I worry about dough balls. I don't know that. Like that.
I think I would still have to worry about dough balls in mine, no matter what. But yeah,
think so.
Because I think that they just it's when it goes in there basically, and then like the water doesn't get into everything, so you just basically have like mashed grain in like a semi-dry state that are just sitting there. So yeah.
So what I've done, I don't use the spoon anymore to stir my grain. I have a 3-foot freaking whisk that I use that just busts everything up. You know, I just go ham with that, and it works just fine. Bought that at an Amish store for like, I don't know, $12 or something. It was super, super cheap. I think one of the best things I think I bought in quite a while overall.
Yeah, I got one of those too because I cut my bag with my spoon. So like on the second one.
So this beer.
Yeah. No, on my second time using a bag, I think it was like
gotcha.
The first time I did a Kolsch, or because this one I think I did straight into it. I can't remember now. Notes that I plan on taking tomorrow because the other thing I did read is I'm not supposed to stir mine. If you have a circulator, you can just leave it go and you don't need to stir it all the time. Like you don't even need to stir it every 15 minutes. No. You just set it and let it recirculate for the full whatever your mash time is. So I'm going to do an hour.
I thought, I mean, I could buy a pump and kind of do something like that myself, but I've been doing it this way for so long, and I make decent beer, so I'm not too worried about it. Like Mike said before in earlier podcasts, like one of these days a month, I just go up there and we'll just have to brew a beer and have to try your system and see if I like it or not before I throw some money at one.
Yeah, we'll have to do a pints with brew with pals. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Brew with pals.
Brew with pals. A brew day.
I'll just have to come up.
Yeah, you have to come up and I'll meet up and we'll eat tacos and make beer. There you go. It's like a good time.
Sounds good to me. So,
it's great to see Jason back. Thanks for
the beer. It's delicious.
Yeah.
First beer in a while is a good one.
Heck yeah.
You should go back and try the red.
I was looking at all the beers I've missed. Yeah. So I probably will go back and do at least this season's. But I missed like all of last season almost. So
pretty much, yeah.
and rumor has it that some of those beers weren't that great. So I might start with this season and maybe work my way backwards.
Yeah, we have a lot that we got almost a year ago And who knows when they were like actually brewed and stuff. So yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in. Podcast number 3 of season 5, Mike's Irish Red. Wait, that probably should be at the beginning. Let's rewind. Let's start over. No, I'm just kidding. Don't forget to have a pint with your pals.
Please drink responsibly.
Oh, that's me. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you'd like to drink next.
Yeah. Until then, cheers.
Cheers. Happy St. Patrick's Day.